We first met Don Waffle many years ago when, after cross-country skiing along the lakeshore, he presented our staff with a stunning photographic image of the John R. Park Homestead's 1842 house taken from the frozen lake. This was a rare treasure as few images of the house have been taken from the Lake Erie vantage point. Over the years, Don became an active Homestead volunteer and supporter. Importantly, he was the chair of the Homestead Advisory Committee during the Homestead's transfer of ownership from the province to the Conservation Authority. In addition to his many years of volunteer work and other contributions to support the Homestead, Don has also used his talents to preserve and promote the human and natural history of the Essex region. As a photographer, Don captured beautiful images of the Homestead's interior for the site's first virtual tour. Don also photographed a variety of stunning local wildlife which has been used to help educate thousands of students and visitors. Don is an accomplished artist. He has immortalized a diverse set of important local scenes through his stunning artwork. As a museum, the Homestead treasures the several paintings he has created, capturing the historic buildings, grounds, and events. He's also captured many other scenes of Essex County's history and daily life. Thank you, Don, for your important contributions to preserving and promoting the John R. Park Homestead and the remarkable history of our region. It is our pleasure to honor you with this award.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the Homestead Advisory Board and ERCA for selecting me for this esteemed John R. Park Homestead Award. All I can say is, wow and wow. It has to be a rare occasion when one photograph leads to a new and satisfying career. It occurred to me that the Homestead might want to see this picture. That's when I met one of the two amazing people who have occupied that position of curator during my tenure, Janet Cobbin. And yes, she was pleased with this beautiful photo, particularly since there was no recent picture of the homestead from the lake. That's how a photo led to an invitation to join the Homestead Advisory Committee, which was the beginning of a most fulfilling and rewarding experience in my life. I was privileged to be in on the restoration of the homestead and grounds after a Trillium grant was received to allow such major work to be undertaken. And what a gift was the experience of working with other volunteers of similar interest who have carried the homestead forward over the years, and the present curator, Chris Ives. Between Janet and Chris, the homestead has been led and directed by two people during my time with the site, outstanding in their leadership. I even had the chance of photographing the area from an airplane. That photo joined others in a magazine article that featured the homestead, all due to one chance connection from one photograph. Thank you so very much. In great appreciation.
Emily Browne is an environmental science student at the University of Windsor. A member of ERCA's Youth Environment Ambassador Program and the How To Crew, she has significantly contributed to many outreach events and initiatives. As a member of the How To Crew, she advances the quality of community restoration projects across the region, which ensures long-term growth and survival of the native plants and trees. She has assisted with many Earth Day community plantings, TD Tree Day celebrations, and other ERCA-led stewardship initiatives. Last winter, Emily became an outreach assistant intern with the Essex Region Conservation Authority and the Detroit River Canadian Cleanup. As part of her internship, Emily participated in planning, coordinating, and executing a number of events. Emily also provided support in orienting and mentoring new youth environment ambassadors and How To crew members. In addition, she participated on the local planning committee focusing on the Great Global Cleanup to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Earth Day with numerous local environmental organizations. As Emily completes the final year of her studies, she's part of the Healthy Headwaters Lab, completing a 2-term thesis course as a research assistant. Her thesis is being researched in partnership with the Nature Conservancy Canada, evaluating a wetland restoration on the Marianne Girling Nature Reserve in Essex. She also serves as a lab assistant to process soil samples for agricultural soil studies. Emily always maintains a positive attitude and excellent work ethic, both independently and as a true team player. She sets a positive example for youth and students across the Windsor-Essex region, and we congratulate her on this award.
Hello everyone, I'm Emily. Thank you so much for selecting me for the Youth Conservation Award this year. I'm so grateful to have met so many incredible individuals who share the same passion for the environment as I do while volunteering over the past few years. Thank you to everyone at the Essex Region Conservation Authority for giving me so many incredible opportunities to work with you and do what I love doing. I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you.
Xander Campbell is an up-and-coming environmentalist and conservationist with a passion for birds and wildlife and protecting their habitat. He began volunteering at the early age of 12 at Wings Wildlife Rehabilitation. As an early teen, he also volunteered at Jack Minor Migratory Bird Sanctuary, where he grew his passion and knowledge. This led to future opportunities as a student to create a native species garden, host owl prowls, and Kennedy Woods Walks and Talks, where he shared his passion for local birds and wildlife and their habitat and encouraged others to get outside and connect with nature. He also participated in many volunteer activities at Point Pelee National Park, removing invasive species, participating in beach cleanups, and planting milkweed for a beach restoration project. He helped host the park's Young Naturalist Club, volunteering his time to teach children about plants and animals and how to protect the park for their future. He also helps with maintenance at frog ponds and routinely recruits friends and family to participate in conservation and restoration projects. In his free time, Xander routinely looks for opportunities to help the environment by visiting all our conservation areas to help remove trash and recyclables. He's participated in tree planting and seed collection events, and also has rescued and replanted milkweed and distributed the seeds for others to help protect our monarch butterfly population. He's volunteered on numerous occasions to come to kindergarten classrooms at Kingsville Public School and to do nature talks and activities with students, sparking their interests in nature and wildlife. This past summer, Xander became one of the youngest students to be accepted into Point Pelee Summer Work Program because of his passion and enthusiasm. He removed invasive species from marsh and wetlands, vaccinated ash trees to protect them from the ash borer, tracked and tagged fox snakes, and released native species turtles from protected nesting sites. Xander is currently pursuing a post-secondary education at Fleming College in the Fish and Wildlife program, with hopes of making a career out of his passion. One of his nominators states, "Xander is a young person who deeply cares about the environment and shows dedication to helping care for nature and wildlife and conserves its beauty for future generations." We thank Xander for his volunteerism in protecting and conserving habitats and wildlife and sharing that passion with others, and we are pleased to present him with this award.
Hello everyone, I'm Alexander Campbell. It is a great honor to have been chosen as the recipient of the ERCA Volunteer Conservation Award. At a young age, I realized it would be up to us as individuals to make a difference and be the change we would like to see. For even the smallest efforts add up to a positive change for our planet. I would personally like to thank the numerous organizations and individuals who mentored me and gave me the opportunity to learn, grow, and feed my passion for protecting the environment. I would especially like to acknowledge the Essex Region Conservation Authority for the valuable work they do to protect our communities. I'd like to leave you all with the words of the great Dr. Jane Goodall. There is still a window of time. Nature can win if we give her a chance. Thank you very much.
Freshwater Restoration Ecology Center, often referred to by its acronym FREC or FREC, combines groundbreaking research while engaging the public in Great Lakes biodiversity education. FREC has spearheaded many innovative programs to engage the public in research-based best practices to counteract imminent threats to biodiversity. It aims to better understand key stressors and threats to our freshwater biodiversity like climate change, habitat alteration, and urbanization. FREC began as a partnership between the town of LaSalle and the University of Windsor in 2010 with the transformation of the Riverdance property along the Detroit River. Under the leadership of Dr. Trevor Pitcher, major funding from national and provincial sources have allowed for improvements and expansions over the past decade. FREC demonstrates how challenging common objectives can be met through consultation and imaginative problem solving. Its contributions were recognized with the prestigious Canada 150 Service Award for educating the public regarding Great Lakes environmental issues. An integrated team of high school volunteers, undergraduate and graduate students conduct research and engage the public using a multifaceted approach. Some highlights include offering tours and open houses, partnering with Let's Talk Science to produce pamphlets on freshwater biodiversity, engaging with government officials, co-hosting popular fishing tournaments where sustainable fisheries practices are encouraged, and visiting local schools. Prior to the restrictions imposed by the pandemic, the number of visitors grew steadily in recent years. In 2019 alone, over 1,500 people visited FREC, and this trend is expected to continue. FREC is committed to continuous growth and has engaged with elders and students from the Waffle Island First Nation to seek their input and improve programming. Working together, a facility at Walpole Island was established to help manage species with cultural importance, like lake sturgeon, as well as game fish that are important traditional food sources. FREC has also reared endangered freshwater fish species for protection and education. Notably, visitors to FREC are able to see the only captive population of endangered red-side dace in Canada, as well as other species like the imperiled lake sturgeon. Exciting new research has shown how this species can effectively be bred in captivity for reintroduction back into the wild. Beyond our local region, FREC has provided endangered red-side dace to Ripley's Aquarium to further expand its educational outreach. By partnering with successful commercial operations, FREC is able to further its mission to educate the public about important issues of freshwater biodiversity. These examples highlight how the Freshwater Restoration Ecology Center has effectively used citizen science to integrate cutting-edge research and public education and develop new solutions to important global and local environmental problems. We congratulate them with the 2020 Conservation Award for Education.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Trevor Pitcher. I'm professor at the University of Windsor at the Great Lakes Institute for Environmental Research and the Department of Integrative Biology. And on behalf of the Freshwater Restoration Ecology Center and all of the undergraduate, graduate, and postdoctoral fellows that have volunteered there, including others, including high school students, I want to thank you on behalf of all of them for this award for the educational efforts that FREC has put into all this work.
Dr. Ken Droulliard's passion for the environmental health and sustainability of the Great Lakes may stem from the many youthful days he spent fishing on the Detroit River. Now a professor with the Great Lakes Institute for Environmental Research at the University of Windsor, he is an expert in modeling pollutants in the food web for a variety of species. These models are used to assess Great Lakes water and sediment quality and perform ecological assessments. Dr. Droulliard returned to the University of Windsor as a postdoctoral fellow in 2000 and at that time became an active member of the Detroit River Canadian Cleanup. He regularly advises on the status of beneficial uses within the Detroit River area of concern, including providing expertise on zooplankton populations, fish consumption advisories, and the health of the benthic invertebrate community. Dr. Droulliard's research directly bridges the science to practice gap and supports decision-making to ensure our food and water are safer. Dr. Droulliard also collaborates on binational projects, lending his expertise to the U.S. government to identify areas for sediment remediation within the Detroit River. Further, he's part of the Friends of Detroit River, a local U.S. group that tackles Detroit River issues on the American side. Additionally, he's participated in the 2019 Harmful Algal Bloom GRAB, a binational, multi-agency, multi-university initiative to collect water samples to generate scientific knowledge about algal bloom conditions in the western basin of Lake Erie. Dr. Droulliard's work has been translated for other freshwater systems around the world, including China and Dubai. Dr. Droulliard trains the next generation of aquatic biologists in courses in aquatic Great Lakes issues and pollution ecology. He is always willing to share his expertise with the community and is a frequent source for local media. He also volunteers his time and lab resources in a wide variety of ways. Most recently, Dr. Droulliard is leading a team of University of Windsor scientists to help the Windsor-Essex sewing force produce better homemade masks, using scientific equipment to identify fabrics most capable of keeping healthcare workers safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. The goal is to determine quality control measures and standardize the masks to a design that can be reused after laundering and sterilization in hospitals. Dr. Droulliard is also lending his expertise to a University of Windsor GLEAR project in partnership with wastewater treatment plants to study viral loads of COVID-19 in sewage before and after processing. The research will also delve into how long the virus can survive in the environment should it be discharged into Lake St. Clair or the Detroit River. Dr. Drouillard's contributions to protecting and restoring the local environment are inspiring, and we are honored to present him with the 2020 Conservation Award for Environmental Achievement.
Hello, my name is Ken Droulliard, and I'm a professor with the University of Windsor. I'm affiliated with the Great Lakes Institute for Environmental Research and the School of the Environment with the Faculty of Sciences. I'd like to thank the Essex Region Conservation Authority for nominating me this year for the Conservation Award in Environmental Achievement. This is truly a great honor and one that's extra special to me because it's coming out of the community that I was born and raised from, and also one that I have the great privilege to return to in my professional life. The Droulliard name has had a long affiliation with this community, having settled here in the mid-1700s. My forefathers were among the first to be granted the original French long farms, and Simon Droulliard, the first to settle here, had his farm located in what is now part of the Ojibwe Prairie Complex, with the short end of that rectangle abutting the Detroit River. Those early French settlers recognized how vital the Detroit River was to their success and vitality, and that's a situation that hasn't changed throughout the entire history of this community. The Detroit River is the first place that I ever caught a fish, fishing with my father on the docks of LaSalle when I was a child. It's the resting place of the ashes of my grandfather. The Detroit River holds a special connection in my heart, and that's a bond that will never change throughout the rest of my life. I'm proud of having spent a good portion of my career working on the Detroit River, Lake Erie, and other Great Lakes. And I want to take a little bit of time to thank some of the mentors, some of the people who I've collaborated with, some of the people who have just shared their optimism and enthusiasm and their go-getter attitude to just keep things moving. Doug Hafner started off my career as a professor while I was doing my undergrad at the University of Windsor. He's the one who persuaded me to get into the field of environmental science. And when I came back to the University of Windsor, he became one of my most trusted colleagues and a lifelong friend. Doug was the one who brought me on to the Detroit River Canadian Cleanup Committee. I'd also like to really acknowledge some of the really important people who have done so much for the DRCC. April White from Environment and Climate Change Canada, Ted Briggs from the Ministry of Environment, Conservation and Parks, and of course many of the ERCA staff. Katie Stamler has helped me greatly, and in the last 5 years she's contributed a whole bunch of training and mentorship to my graduate students. So ERCA and the University of Windsor have engaged in this close collaboration and partnership, and I'm proud that the affiliation between Windsor, University of Windsor, and ERCA has blossomed so much in the last 5 to 10 years. Last, I want to thank some of the key RAP coordinators for our Detroit River Canadian Cleanup Committee. Our past RAP coordinator, Claire Sanders, was truly tireless in her efforts to make improvements on the system and just get things done. And those big shoes were recently filled by Jacqueline Saran, and she's proven to be equally as competent and one of the people that is making things happen behind the scenes. With that, I'm going to conclude this video, and thanks so much again to ERCA for nominating me for this Conservation Award. I'm going to present it with pride in my office and showcase it to all my students. This is a great, great honor, and thank you again.
Essex Power Corporation strongly believes in sustainability and works cohesively with its affiliate companies, Essex Power Lines and Essex Energy, to provide reductions in its carbon footprint and offer solutions for a low-carbon future. EPC has implemented many environmental initiatives that have helped reduce carbon emissions in the Windsor-Essex region and beyond. One of their successful energy conservation endeavors is to provide conservation and demand management programs through the Independent Electricity System Operators Conservation First framework. Because of the program, EPC exceeded its 6-year conservation target, achieving 119%, almost 2 years ahead of the program's end date. In an effort to reduce carbon emissions, EPC has increased its fleet of solar photovoltaic or PV assets and infrastructure in Windsor, Essex, and across the province. A rooftop solar PV system installed on its operations building produced over 120,000 kilowatt hours of clean energy, exceeding the 2020 target by 100%. EPC has invested in additional solar PV assets and has built over 130 similar projects across the province, furthering its impact on a cleaner environment in the local community and beyond. EPC encourages their customers to switch to paperless billing. As a result, over 9,500 customers signed up, saving approximately 340,000 pieces of paper and reducing the cradle-to-grave emissions by nearly 14 tons. Its goal is to increase its paperless customer base to over 50% by the end of 2021. An internal digital transformation increased efficiencies and reduced paper use across all departments. Most recently, EPC has applied for funding through Natural Resource Canada's Zero Emissions Vehicle Infrastructure Program to help strengthen and transform the region's transportation sector. If successful, EPC will support the process to install electrical vehicle charging stations across the region. Essex Power Corporation and its affiliate companies have demonstrated their commitment to improving environmental and sustainable conditions in our region and across Ontario, and we are pleased to present them with the Award for Environmental Achievement.
On behalf of the Essex Power Group of companies, we humbly accept the Environmental Achievement Award. The Essex Power Group embeds sustainability at the heart of our core business principles, and we have environmental, social, and economic values that set the 3 pillars for our foundation in creating sustainable and responsible decisions for our customers, shareholders, the community, and the environment. We look forward to continuing to do our part to promote and act towards environmental stewardship through our success in energy conservation, renewable energy, waste management, and minimizing our environmental risk in our day-to-day operations. We would also like to thank the Essex Region Conservation Authority for their leadership and focus on enriching and sustaining our region as the place for life. Thank you.
In 2019, the County of Essex Council unanimously declared a climate emergency, which supported permanent and robust changes to the way the county does business. Following that declaration, in 2020, the county spearheaded a number of climate action projects on behalf of the region. Over the past 8 years, the county has promoted healthy and active lifestyles through the construction of more than 415 kilometers of active transportation corridors through the county-wide active transportation system. CWATS links our 7 local municipalities with an active transportation network spanning hundreds of kilometers. Not only do connected trails play an important role in supporting mental and physical health, tourism, and sustainable residential development, but it's a big part of the climate change solution. By encouraging residents to bike, walk, and roll, the county is addressing one of the biggest contributors to climate change, greenhouse gas emissions from transportation. The ambitious goal to have a connected network spanning over 800 kilometers will provide a safe, comfortable, bicycle and pedestrian-friendly environment for us all. In January 2020, the county initiated the Essex County Regional Energy Plan. This plan will help the community better understand current energy consumption, identify opportunities for energy efficiency, help meet the community's climate priorities, and strengthen the local economy. Through this plan, a 30-member community task force was established and led by Warden McNamara. This task force brings together a team of community leaders from all municipalities, local businesses, government, utilities, school boards, and community groups to advise and champion the energy plan and implementation process. This strategy directly supports Council's climate emergency declaration by providing clear and achievable goals with ambitious targets to significantly lower community greenhouse gas emissions and improve our overall energy efficiency while creating jobs and opportunities for investment. The county has also taken strong action on climate adaptation through initiating a floodplain mapping prioritization study. With changing weather patterns, variable lake levels, and increased flooding and erosion, identifying vulnerable areas and assets is a critical step in protecting residents and ensuring safe, responsible, and sustainable development practices. Additionally, the county's Emergency Management Department continues to coordinate and support climate action and adaptation planning through continually improving flood and heat response and supporting municipal climate adaptation across the region. For these reasons and more, it is an honor to present the County of Essex with the Robert Pulleyblank Award for Environmental Achievement.
Chair McKenzie, Vice Chair Jobin, members of the board, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to accept the Robert Polyblank Award for Environmental Achievement on behalf of the County of Essex. This award is a testament to the vision and day-to-day dedication of County of Essex employees who are committed to serving the residents of our 7 distinct local municipalities and committed to a greener, sustainable future. The countywide active transportation system is an incredible success story. It continues to play a vital role during the pandemic, allowing residents to get outdoors and get active, and promoting both mental and physical wellness. The CWATS network grows bigger and more connected every year, and there are some ambitious projects on tap for 2021 that will promote active living and bring our communities even closer together. And we are so proud to be partnering with the Essex Region Conservation Authority on the Regional Energy Plan. This plan will help us create jobs, strengthen our local economy, and dramatically improve our energy efficiency and lower our emissions. Essex County Council unanimously declared a climate emergency last year, and this plan will serve as both a roadmap to a prosperous, sustainable future and a vehicle to help us get there. Thank you to the Essex Region Conservation Authority for this award, and thank you for everything you do, day in and day out, to promote responsible planning, the environment, and the pristine natural spaces of Windsor and Essex County.
The Dennis Chase Staff Award honors longtime staff member Dennis Chase and recognizes those who demonstrate the traits that Dennis upheld: dedication, commitment, conscientiousness, kindness to colleagues, enthusiasm, pride in a job well done, and good humor. Like Dennis, Bevin Martin is one of ERCA's conservation area technicians. He maintains conservation areas, restoration sites, and trails across the Windsor-Essex region, and also supports construction, tree planting, and development projects. Bevin is always cheerful, optimistic, and regularly mentions how much he enjoys working for the Conservation Authority. He often says, "It's the best job for me." He continuously arrives with a smile on his face and a happy greeting for his coworkers. Bevin is a walking encyclopedia of knowledge and is always happy to share. As well, he's interested in the projects of his fellow staff members and likes to learn more about their work. Despite a significant workload, Bevin consistently finds ways to help his coworkers. He makes himself available to help troubleshoot equipment, even if it's not in person. He has helped train many contract, full-time, and seasonal employees on various pieces of equipment and does so with patience and kindness. He reminds staff constantly about following proper health and safety practices when working out in the field. Bevin has shared his experiences in caring and stewarding the many hundreds of acres of ERCA lands while stressing the importance of doing the work properly to ensure the safety of visitors. Bevin also takes seriously the important aspect of customer service while representing ERCA as a frontline staff. He is friendly and welcoming to anyone who may have questions and cheerfully welcomes those using conservation areas and trails. Bevin is dedicated to the work that he engages in each day at ERCA. He is conscientious, hardworking, thoughtful, and compassionate to his colleagues, guests, and the environment. He has contributed tremendously to the sustainability of the region and does so with kindness, optimism, and humor. And we are pleased to honor him with this award.
Hey guys, Bevin here. I just wanted to say that I'm humbled to know that you thought of me for this award. I consider myself lucky to work with such a fantastic group of people, and I'm proud to take part in the work that we do here at ERCA. I never had the opportunity to work with Dennis, but I hear all sorts of amazing stories about him. It's an honor to receive this award, so thank you so much.